Okay, we've arrived and now we're ready. I wanted to talk a little bit about pressed flowers. I know some of you may, Nance, I don't know, you may have your pressed flowers here and ready to do this project with us. If you don't, no worries. I have grown quite a few pansies this year to press because I'm having a live in-person event in Victoria on Vancouver Island in Canada at the end of September. So I have a whole big box of pansies, so I'll be using those today. But just a few hints. I'm no expert at flower pressing. I'm just someone who loves to try these creative activities and have learned along the way. So one of the things that I find when you press flowers, you press them between parchment paper. I did a lot of flowers that I pressed between paper towel, and what happened is they take on the design from the paper towel. So make sure you press them between parchment paper. I have a book here, and I actually have a little bit of a sample. I've got some pressing now. So there's my parchment paper. Oop, there's my pansies. So what I simply do is I cut the pansy, make sure you've cut the stem off, and then I place it face down and then close my piece of, so I make a little book with the parchment paper, and then I fold it over and insert it in a book. So another little tip is sometimes I've rushed the process and have not allowed the pansies to dry sufficiently, and they wrinkle when you don't allow them to dry. So I guess those would be my two tips, is to allow them to press long enough, and it takes at least a week, and also to not use paper towel. All righty, let's get on to making our stickers. And I'm going to have to do some switching of my camera here. So I'm hoping that this is going to work out exactly the way I've practiced. I should stop too and give a little shout out to Louise C. from Fiercely Human on Substack, because I reached out to her. She does a lot of videos where she's actually demonstrating, and it's a tricky thing because now I'm going to have to switch my camera so it shows my desktop. So just a shout out to her. She was so helpful to me and just explained to me, just be yourself. So that's exactly what I'm trying to do. So if something goes awry and I lose you for some reason, I'm going to re-record it, and I will post the video of the demonstrating of making the actual stickers. This is not going to happen, but just in case it does, I thought I'd mention that. So just give me about 30 seconds to get everything switched up here. Okay, so now you'll see my desktop. Just let me move this over a wee bit. There. I just wanted to show you my messy mat that I have on my desktop. This is something that I have created. It's a laminated piece of paper, and it says make something, it helps. And I totally believe that I think when you're feeling just frazzled or busy or not calm at all, that it really does help to stop and make something, even if it's just 5 minutes. So this little messy mat protects my surface, and I'll be starting a paid membership in September, and this will be one of the perks in my paid membership. I will have a downloadable version, and then you'll just need to take it to a stationery store and have it laminated. So first I want to start with the supplies that you'll need for this project, and there aren't many. So you'll need some packing tape, just your regular clear packing tape. You'll need a pair of scissors. The little tweezers are really helpful when you're working with the flowers. often, as I have with so many flowers together, if I try to pick it up without the tweezers, often the pressed flower will break because they're quite delicate. So it's easiest to use a little set of tweezers. Then, of course, you'll have parchment paper. And I've got, this piece is about 7 inches by 7 inches. And you'll have your pressed flowers. So for today's demonstration, I'm going to use a couple of pansies and then another little flower that I picked from my daughter's garden and pressed. Okay, so when you lay them out on the, well, first of all, we're going to move them away from the parchment paper. I'm a step ahead of myself. So first of all, you're going to have a piece of your tape, packing tape, and you're going to lay it down on the parchment paper, the sticky side down. So we're going to lay it right onto the parchment paper and then smooth it out. It'll often have some little wrinkles, and if it has a few, not to worry, but smooth it out the best you can. Then you're going to put your pansies or your pressed flowers on top. It's the second layer. Making sure that you leave space in between, because we need about a quarter, an eighth to a quarter of an inch on the to cut around the pansy. So leave a lot of room on either side just to make sure you have enough space, and also room on the top and room on the bottom. So now we've got our pansies in the position that we want them. We take a second piece of packing tape, and sticky side down, we're going to lay it right on top of the pansies. They seem to jump up often like that one just did. But again, if you have any wrinkles, flatten them out the best you can. Okay, so now we've completed that, we're going to cut out our stickers. So as I mentioned, we're going to leave about an eighth of an inch, and you can cut around the design of the flower. Just cut that off and get rid of it. Okay, now you have your sticker. So now the magic happens. I won't bother for this demonstration to cut out those other ones, but now the magic happens where you can now apply this to an envelope. I love to seal my envelopes with them, or I have a friend who loves to send envelopes in the mail and put the stickers right on the front. So all you do now is simply tear off the parchment paper that's on the back. Am I going to be able to get it easily for this demonstration? There it is. And it's sticky. So it's sticky now. And you're just going to stick it on your envelope or your journal or wherever you choose to put your sticker. And it's simple as that. That's it. Very, very easy. You could even use little magazine things you've clipped from a magazine that you really love could go on there as well. I'm just going to flip my camera back and just, if anyone has any questions that they wanted to ask me about this process, then I can see you when you're talking. So just give me a moment again, flip my camera back. Okay, there we are. Anybody? Oh, thanks, Nance. I'm glad you found it beautiful. Oh, Trudy, thank you. That's my sister. So sweet. Thank you for your support. So if anyone has any other questions, I'd be happy to answer them. It's a really simple project, really simple. I do want to just talk a bit about some of the other events I have coming up in the Hummingbird Nest for the balance of July. The theme in the Hummingbird Nest this month was in full bloom, so everything's focused around flowers. So on Monday, next Monday, the July the 20th at 1 o'clock Mountain Daylight Time, I will be hosting Lisa Lotta Loomer in the Creativity Studio for the guest creative session. And she is an urban flower farmer in Victoria on Vancouver Island, west coast of Canada. And she's going to just give us a little tips to decorate or to make a floral arrangement. And you can even bring your own blossoms and work along with her. And then she'll be explaining to us her petal potluck. It's something that she has created, and it's an amazing idea and a wonderful way to entertain friends this summer. Then on Thursday, July the 23rd, I'll be doing another demonstration similar to this. And again, it'll be at 12 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. And it will be flower pounding, where you take, I'll be using pansies. You take a flower and you pound it onto either with a hammer, like just as it sounds, with a hammer onto either fabric or paper, and the pigment from the flower stays on the paper or the fabric. So that's a really fun flower activity as well. So I will also be posting this video or this live again in on my Hummingbird Nest website. And so you can view it there again if you wanted to watch it again or pass it on to some friends. So I really thank everybody for being here. This is my second live I've done on Substack. The first one I've done where I've actually demoed something. And so I think it went pretty well. So I'm happy with that. So I hope that you spend the rest of your summer enjoying your flowers and have a chance to dry a few, press a few, and make some stickers. It's a great activity too with kids. They love it. So I'm going to say goodbye now. Hope everyone's having a great day or great evening wherever you're coming from in the world. Bye.